Yo, what's going on, homies? Hope you're all enjoying your week so far. Today, just like last week, we're going to go through our top 3 rugby league players that we are excited to watch next year for each selective team. So this week we have picked the Doggies. I'm so excited to go through my top 3 players. As we all know, they've been recruiting really well coming into next year. So I'm just excited to talk about the Doggies, see how we feel. Do also comment down below your thoughts. Next week, we're going to bring on the Raiders. So hope you guys enjoy. Tune in for the next one too. But let's get straight into the video. So while doing these top 3, it was really tough to try and figure out my top 3. I had a couple players in mind. There was one that I really wanted to talk about, and the first one is Franklin Pele. So with Franklin Pele, we're not too sure if he'll even play this year, if he'll even get a bench spot and this and that, but I'm just excited if he does. I'm excited to see if he does play. I've been watching him for a long time now in the Sharkies development and all that sort of stuff. The guy is a complete stud. I'll read out a couple of stats for you guys, just so you guys know. This is all the New South Wales Cup too, but still, it just shows how much of a freak this kid is. So within 20 games last year in New South Wales Cup, he had 70 tackle breaks, 11 tries, and out of 8 hit-ups a game, he averages 100 meters. So averaging 10 to 12 meters per run. Just amazing. Like, this kid is a stud. There was obviously that news that came out a couple years back that the Sharkies had to tell him to stop lifting weights because he was getting too big. The kid is a killer. If you haven't watched any of his highlights, do check it out on YouTube. I'm not sure if I can even do like a little video on here, like copyright reasons and this and that, but do check him out on YouTube, like all the highlights of Franklin Pele. He is a killer. I do think that he has a chance to crack that starting front rower position. I do hope he does as well. I think it's pretty open at the moment. Obviously, Tavita Pangai Jr. is there. Max King, who I believe is better front row forward than he is at 13, so he'll be probably playing up there as well. They have let go of Jack Hetherington and all that sort of stuff, so there is spots ready there to go. You obviously got Luke Thompson and all that, who's a really good player as well. But I'm just really excited to see Frank Pele just go out there, play really good football, and hopefully get a crack in NRL, because I think he's going to be a stud. My next player is a bit more of an obvious one, and it's going to be Maddie Burton. And the biggest reason why I'm excited to watch Maddie Burton next year is mainly because he's going to have some more big pieces around him, and I honestly believe this kid is a superstar. Like, he can turn into something really special, just judging off of obviously Origin games that he's played in. Like, you know, he wasn't getting beat all the time or anything like that. He actually created so many opportunities as well. So I think he's a stud there. In the international arena, we all saw the try assists and all that sort of stuff. The kid, like, in the big opportunities, like grand final, he didn't shy away from the contest. So I think he's a really talented person that has always stepped up to whatever level of football he's playing at. So a couple of stats to let you know how good of a season he did have last year. So within 24 games, he had 14 try and line break assists, and he had an 83% tackle efficiency on the edge. So I wanted to put that in there because as a 6, most young 6s, he is a bigger 6, so he can actually defend himself out on the edge a little bit better than most others. But still, it's really vital to have a really good defensive 6 as well. Like a guy, he can attack. Obviously, he can kick the fucking ball. Like, we all can see that. But defending was also a big thing, and especially at the Doggies, it's just all about attitude. And like that Doggies club at the moment, they need an attitude change. And this is another big thing. Like, if he's going to have VILLIAMI KIKAU this year defending next to him, I feel like that tackle efficiency stat is going to go even further up. It does help the half, especially when they have a really good second row. Kind of like, you know, if we're talking about like a player like Ezra Mam, he had a really good crack at defense last year, but he didn't get helped out with Kurt Capewell and that. I saw really good tackle form from Ezra Mam and that, but when you got Kurt Capewell that's missing about 5 or 6 tackles a game as well, coming into a later end of the year because of a shoulder problem and all that sort of stuff, Ezra Mam's just not going to really, you know, he's not going to clean up the scraps. Like, most of the defensive work really comes from that edge back rower and how he pushes that out and like helps his boy out on the edge. VILLIAMI KIKAU showed last year how much he helped Jarome Luai in his defense. Jarome Luai is still a really good defender. Don't like twist that. But having VILLIAMI KIKAU out there, like, just, yeah, helps so much, especially when like the guy's just darting out a line, just putting like chopping blokes for a big boy. So it's crazy. Yeah, basically the biggest reason why I put Maddie Burton in here is because he's got players like Reid Marnie coming, VILLIAMI KIKAU, so many big star pieces that can help him take the next step into the next level. I don't know if the Doggies are going to make top 8 next year. I do honestly believe they're not going to be bottom 4 and they're going to be fighting for that top 8 position. I really do believe that. I feel like the biggest key piece is Reid Marnie, and VILLIAMI KIKAU is that icing on the cake on the edge. And I really feel like he's going to be really missed at the Panthers, just kind of like Api Coruscant and that. But like VILLIAMI KIKAU was definitely a turning point sort of thing in the game. You watch a lot of his games, he does turn a game on his head. So it's good to have the doggies to have someone like that outside of Maddie Burton on that edge, and you have ADDO-CARR on that same side, so it's going to be a damaging edge overall. Lastly, we got Mahoney as my third player to watch this year. This one's a bit more so like, you know, everyone's going to say this as well. Like, obviously, the big, like, people could have gone out there, I would have like gone VILLIAMI KIKAU, Mahoney, and Matt Burton or something like that. But anyway, Mahoney is my third and last player. So a couple of stats for these 2022 season of Mahoney. So not the biggest and best season from Reed, but he still made a grand final #1, and he was really consistent all year mostly. Defensively, he did lack in a couple of stats coming out like through most of the year, but he did make a shitload of tackles. But there's a key piece here that I want you guys to know that could help the doggies so much. So Mahoney had 8 line break assists, 7 try assists last year, 1,191 kick meters from hooker, which is a really, really key piece, and 2 40-20s from hooker. This is the reason why I'm really, really excited to watch Mahoney in this doggy system. We all know the doggies, they have a kicker like Maddie Burton there, but Maddie Burton can't always be the kicker. You got Cole Flanagan that can kick as well. But when you have that hooker that can change the game momentum-wise, we've seen Benny Hunt do it in Origin. We've seen players like Cam Smith back in the day. He used to change the game by just early kick set from hooker, probably about third, fourth tackle, put it down in the back and like defend your ass off. Mahoney can do this exact same thing, and he's got a really damaging grubber as well. I'd say he's probably one of the top 3 kickers from hooker. So I'm really, really excited to see him play in this doggy squad. I think that's going to be an extra dimension that's going to help him out so much. Defensively, last year, he was lacking, but the one thing about Mahoney, the biggest comparison I can give him is someone like a Jake Friend. And I mean, this is an overall, like, career standard, like, this is like pretty much Mahoney in a way where Jakey Friend was stuck behind Cam Smith, couldn't really make that Origin squad at all, even though he was a really, really good hooker. Same with Mahoney, like Harry Grant, Benny Hunt are there. I don't really, like, honestly, I don't see him cracking that spot unless there's injury there. I do love Mahoney. Like, I think he's really consistent. He's an awesome hooker. But, you know, with players like Harry Grant, Ben Hunt, it's really, really tough to even crack a squad like that. So I believe that's very similar to a Jake Friend. Second thing is Jake Friend used to get his head pretty much in all different type of places and that in defense. Mahoney is going to work his ass off. And I didn't mean that head in defense and all that sort of stuff. It's more of like an effort player. Like Jakey Friend was an effort player. He'll do whatever he can to get the Roosters on the front foot and get them all the way through to their sets. Mahoney will do exactly the same thing. He plays really good off the markers. He's got a really, really nice pass. And defensively, he'll put his head wherever he needs to put his head. He'll do whatever he can to stop a try. He'll do whatever he can to stop a player. He may miss a couple of tackles a game, but all that comes down from effort. And he'll always shoot for about that high 40 tackles a game. You know, so he's a really, really good hooker, consistent hooker. It's pretty much what the doggies need this year. So I'm excited for this doggy squad. I honestly do predict them to be around that like 10, 9, 8 sort of position. It's really tough this year who you think is going to drop out of the 8 to bring any other boys in the 8, but there's so many lower teams that have gotten better this year coming up. So I can't really pick. I have no clue. Like I did a predictions video of my ladder last year. I didn't know how that went. Like I probably went horrendous. This year's going to be even more tougher. I honestly don't know how it's going to go. Obviously, it hurts my soul, but I think I'm hoping the Warriors have a really good year this year, but we'll have to see. But lastly, on the doggies, amazing recruitment coming into this. I really think it's going to change your season around. As long as you stay with your key pieces like Jake Averillo at fullback, unless you're going to find a better fullback, but I think Averillo is actually a really decent fullback. He doesn't get the numbers, but he plays a lot like, he's not as damaging as a Latrell, but he does do everything else to help that team gel together. And I believe that even though his stats aren't high, he has this uncanny knack for interceptions, always returns the ball well, really, really good off the kick. So wherever a kick goes through, he always seems to be the first one there. It's all these little effort things that I like him at fullback for, and I think he's a really good fullback. Having a Cole Flanagan at half for the whole year, like just give him a shot, man. Like honestly, just give him a shot. I think he was the turning point last year when we started to see the doggies actually play well, is because that him and Maddie Burton had some time to play together. I don't think Maddie Burton needs anyone too crazy to play outside of him at halfback. I believe Maddie Burton and Kyle Flanagan can do it together. And with Mahoney at hooker, I think this team's going to be good. Please comment down below your thoughts and who you're excited to see, the top 3 players that you're excited to see out of the doggies this year. Hope you guys enjoy. Next week, we're going to do the Raiders. So do like and subscribe down below. Hit the notification bell for all my videos and all this stuff. Thank you so much for all the support. Love you guys. Take it easy. Peace out.